Hey, what's up everybody? My name is Jeff and today we are going to have some fun playing Magic, and today we are finally playing Brawl. I'm so excited that Wizards of the Coast finally decided to get this out here for us. And I have decided to go with a Sephara Flyers deck. So I know everyone is wanting to do Kenrith. I have a Yarok Brawl deck, Kenrith Brawl deck, but Sephara has actually been the best for me so far. Let me shift this real quick. There we go. Get back to the green screen area of this. Anyway, so I'm really excited about Brawl, and I do have a Kenrith deck. I'm going to be putting everything on Aether Hub. If you guys click down link down below, it has this this deck here for Aether Hub, but you can also check out all of my decks, and I'll have the Kenrith one. I'll have other ones out there for you guys to check out if you guys want to. I have all of my deck lists there as well, and if you guys do decide to purchase anything from there, it does help me support me through TCG Player affiliate on their site. Anyway, just saying. But overall, what we're trying to do with this deck is get as many flyers out on the battlefield as quick as possible, so that Sephara comes out for 1 mana, making all other flyers indestructible, which makes them amazing blockers, which just straight up wins the game for that. And then Sephara can win the game by swinging with a 7/7 lifelinking creature, which is just, it's insane. If you get a few turns doing that, great. And the great thing too is if they do find a way to destroy Sephara, as long as we keep 4 creatures out on the battlefield with flying, guess what? Then we get to play her again for 1 mana by tapping 4 untapped creatures that have flying. So the biggest issue is getting 4 untapped creatures with flying. So we have a lot in the early game, but mono white really doesn't have a ton of ways to do it. Like right now, it's really weird. There's not a ton of flyers in mono white. There are flyers, there definitely are, but not as many as I'd hope for. So we have Fairy Guide Mother, we have Healer's Hawk, Low Pegasus, a lot in the early game, which is great. And then we have Grateful Apparition. Like I'm kind of digging into some like not great cards for our deck to work with this. Grateful Apparition does work with some other stuff. We do have things like Unbreakable Formation. There are other counter synergies in here, so it is good to have some Proliferate with Gideon, that kind of stuff as well. Hushbringer also pretty good because Yarok is in the format, and I had built a sweet Yarok deck, so we'll see how it goes. Bishop of Wings does get to create another Spirit token if Sephara ever dies. I don't want to go into every single card here, but just kind of the idea of what we have. The one game that I did test out so far, I had a brought back that saved the game where, you know, opponents swung in, I blocked with all of my indestructible permanents, you know, all of my indestructible flyers, so that they can't get any damage through. They killed my Sephara thinking it would kill all my creatures too, so then I would be locked out of the game, but brought back the Sephara right in time for everything to still have indestructible, and then they scooped it up. And so there's just some really fun stuff we can do with this. A couple Brawl cards that are in here as well. Tome of Legends enters the battlefield with a page counter onto it. Whenever your commander enters the battlefield or attacks, put another page counter onto Tome of Legends, and I can pay 1 and tap to remove and draw a card. So remove a counter, draw a card from Tome of Legends. So just a little bit of extra card draw in this deck. We don't have a ton of it, and so I wanted to squeeze this in here for sure. Otherwise, we do have card draw with like Dawn of Hope, and that's pretty much it. We don't have a ton in this deck. 1 Linden the Steadfast, because we're all with white creatures. It's just a lot of life gain that we can get, especially with flyers. We can swing in a little bit more favorably. We do have 1 Ajani's Pridemate. I probably ought to get in, actually. Let's go ahead and get in Ajani the Steadfast in here as well. Or Strength of the Pride, sorry. And I'm not sure what I go down. It's probably one of these top end angels that are like meh. Like Light of the Legion is a fun idea. All angels do have some value if we have Bishop of Wings, but in every card is like in a singleton format, it's really difficult to actually make that happen. So I probably am going to go down Light of the Legion, I think here. Angelic Guardian at least gives everything indestructible, which is nice. The other one puts counters on stuff, but meh. Anyway, let's go ahead and jump into the gameplay, see how this does for us, and wish me luck. All right, up against Wolf92, and we're up against Nikki B, Nicol Bolas, which is a great commander, and it's going to be really annoying. We have no creatures. Tome of Legends helps us draw on turn 2, turn 3, I guess. We're going to go ahead and take a free mulligan since it is free. And this looks better. I love having Bishop of Wings. Righteous Blow is at least some early game removal. I really was debating on bringing it in. White doesn't have tons of good early game removal. We have Glass Casket now. I guess there are some things that are pretty decent. Let's... Do we just go for flyers, or do I get Bishop of Wings out? Let's go for flyers, I guess. Pass the turn. Especially with Gideon coming out next turn, we can get counters onto Gids. No! They probably take Gideon here. Perhaps Bishop of Wings. They might prioritize that, but I would definitely take the Gideon here. Yeah. Unbreakable Formation to start growing the Grateful Apparition could be good, but I don't think it's worth my time rather than just getting creatures out. Yeah, so let's go ahead and swing in. Yep, that does nothing. Ardenvale Tactician. And maybe if we get another couple of creatures, Unbreakable Formation with Grateful Apparition does get pretty insane if they don't have Ritual of Soot in hand. I mean, they only have one of everything, right? So it's going to be difficult for them to find the right stuffs here. Do I do it now? I get in for 5, and then I get in for quite a bit more the next turn. Do I get down Bishop of Wings first? I'm really hoping they don't have a Ritual of Set or a Fires of Invention. Okay, Bishop of Wings, let's go ahead and play it. They have some sort of response. They know that we have this Unbreakable Formation. Down to 21. Pass the turn. They could have like Ionize, Mystical Dispute as well. Okay, getting closer to actually playing this Nikki B. They need one more blue or black source. Let's go ahead and Unbreakable Formation, see if it resolves. Alright, they do have the Mystical Dispute. Okay. Boo. Yeah, we'll just swing in. Down to 17. Pass the turn. I don't need to play this Take Heart right now. I'd rather get in at Nicol Bolas or something like that with a little bit more damage than they were expecting with it. Castle Ardenvale tapped. Oh, Revenge of Ravens is so bad for us. Okay, passes my turn. Land. Swing in with Ardenvale. Yet they gain 1 life. Take 3, down to 14. Revenge of Ravens is really good in this format too. All right, here comes Nikki B. Possibly. I would play Nicol Bolas here. And probably just start ticking up. We can do 4 points of damage to it, but we're losing so much life as we go along. Or they have a Ritual of Set. And now game is probably over. I'll go ahead and wait 1 or 2 more turns. We have some stuff we can discard to the Nikki B as well. But Nicol Bolas just kills Sephara. We don't, yeah.
The immortal Nicol
I think this one is over.
will be your end.
Get rid of the Righteous Blow.
You have no weakness I cannot
Witching Well.
exploit.
Keeps 2 on top, and that's probably game if they're keeping 2 on top. Yeah, pass the turn. We do have God's Willing, which is nice, so we can at least keep Linden alive. So hopefully they try to attack with Nicol Bolas, or kill Nicol Bolas. Sorry, kill Linden with Nicol Bolas. Let's go ahead and go for a Scry. Yeah, let's get rid of a Plains.
Wipe your bloodline. My schemes are never ending.
Linden does counteract Revenge of Ravens, so it does give us a shot. But God's Willing doesn't do anything for us. Yeah, and we concede. All right, up against Larry Goulet. Bring it on, Larry. And Varaska Golgari Queen is the commander. That's really interesting with Garrick also being available. I guess if you're trying to go for the ultimate, it's pretty fun. But I feel like I know CGB did a Garrick or Deculus as well, which looked pretty sweet. Will Healer's Hawk, Angel of Vitality is pretty good. If we can find a good 2-drop as well, this is an amazing hand. I like the Parhelion for later game, which is really fun. Yeah, so we're going to go ahead and keep this. Games can go pretty late with this format as well. So, I mean, Parhelion can just be a way for us to dominate. Possibly. That's a good turn to play. Perfect. All right, so Healer's Hawk. We get 3... flyers out pretty quickly. Angel of Vitality gets really big. It's actually better than Gideon for that reason. But if they hit their land drops, they're going to be able to kill Angel of Vitality on the turn it comes out. All right, so swing in. Gain some life. Grateful Apparition. Pass the turn. So we do get to start ticking up Gideon as soon as it comes out, but Gideon also dies to Vraska pretty quickly. A land. A disfigures. Boo, hiss. All right, I am going to go for the... What's going to be better? Gideon, like, whatever we play will die to Vraska, most likely. Gideon is harder to deal with after the fact, and it's pretty good. So I'm thinking we do go Angel of Vitality. Swing in, gain extra life, up to 28. If they hit land, they just immediately kill it. But then we get to kill Vraska and bring down Gideon. And start ticking up, so then we have another answer for other stuff. My thoughts are they're going to have more creature removal anyway, which, I mean, if they do have creature removal right now, that's bad. But this just kills any permanent with converted mana cost 3 or less, so Gideon does get hit by that. Which, I mean, having removal in your command zone is pretty nice. Voracious Hydra. Does it have reach? No. So it kills Healer's Hawk. Okay. We can deal with that. Hushbringer's interesting. We could Hushbringer and Sky Tether. But I'd rather save that for something a little more dangerous. I mean, Sky Tether is nice. And it won't be able to kill Gideon anytime soon. So let's go ahead and
I will defend the weak at every
give this
opportunity.
lifelink. I could have given it Vigilance as well to have a blocker, but I'd rather just gain lots of life here. Up to 35. Okay, Vraska comes out, and what do they kill? They probably kill Angel of Vitality.
The Golgari now. Step aside or be crushed.
Okay, that's fine. Gideon goes away.
Curse the
Fortune
darkness.
favors you.
Okay, land is that's a wrong land for this. Go ahead and play it. Let's play Hushbringer. Hushbringer does turn off some of our other stuff, which is annoying. I'm wondering if they actually want this in the command zone. Let's go ahead and get rid of it. I'd kind of like to get damage in at face while we can, but... Okay, they're putting it back to the command zone, I would assume. Sky Tether for Voracious Hydra. Does it have reach? No. Let's just pass the turn. That's fine. So if it did have reach, Sky Tether doesn't actually help it. Only Pacifism will at that point. Okay, swings in. No blocks. We have some life gain here, so they're basically just counteracting how much life we're going to gain each turn. And Hushbringer stopping ETB effects. So it only stops ETB effects of creatures. All right, kills Angel of Vitality. We will take action. Grab a land. Rally of Wings is interesting. Let's go ahead and swing in. I'm debating if we really want to do much of anything. We can blast zone up to, we can put 2 counters onto it for 3. We go up to 1. That's fine too. Let's go ahead and just pass the turn. We could also block it with Rally of Wings, killing it here. Okay, up to 5 mana. Shifting Ceratops. Okay. Rally of Wings to kill the Voracious Hydra. And 1 on Blast Zone. Let's go and do this. We gain quite a bit of life. We get to kill the, or get rid of the Ceratops on the next turn as well. Blast Zone up to 2. Land. So we are 1 land away from being able to just hard cast Sephara as well. And then Parhelion on the next turn. That'd be fun. Alright, swinging with Hushbringer. Down to 17 past the turn. Maybe Sky Tether would have been better because we can get Blast Zone up to 4, which just stops Vraska basically from then on out. I need, what, 3 in Tap It for Blast Zone to go? We've been able to kind of hard lock the game a little bit. Okay, gonna get the Voracious Hydra. Doesn't have anything happen because of Hushbringer. Love it. All right, let's go ahead and pick this up to 3. Okay, land. No, no land. Let's go ahead and go for the Scry though. So Scry. We can still take this up to 4 for the Vraska. Glass Casket. It's converted mana cost 3 or less. I think we won't land instead. Okay, down to 16 past the turn. All we have to do is survive for 16 turns, guys. We're gonna win. Alright, Vraska's probably coming down here. Dang, Vraska. Which they do get to destroy our prison realm and get back Golgari Finebroker, but it also doesn't have anything trigger that way. It's a permanent card from a graveyard. They could also kill Pacifism and swing in. This also gets reach that way. Nice. Very nice. Doesn't go for the prison realm. Kind of interesting. Because I think that if they had killed the prison realm, Finebroker, I guess it wouldn't be able to get the same thing back. Ah, come on. Alright, Johnny's Pride Mate. Probably going to die to Vraska. Let's go ahead and Sky Tether the Shifting Ceratops. Gives a Defender which is annoying, but at least they won't be attacking in right now. Gives us some turns. We did lose a land, so we're a little bit further away from Sephara. We do have 24 lands in the deck. I knew I wanted to be able to hardcast Sephara at some point. That's the dream, right? Yeah, we'll see. We'll see if we can pull this one off. They're going to start getting more value once they get this Vrask out. The best thing for them to do probably is just play it. They have a big defender and start taking up, actually, to get it to it ultimate.
You should leave.
They can kill Pridemate. They can kill Prison Realm and dig for a Voracious Hydra.
I won't forgive this.
Which will kill Pridemate on the next turn for sure. For sure. Dang it, that would have been the turn to play Sephara past the turn. It may be better for them to just ignore the Pridemate since I don't have any real life gain and just make the Hydra massive. Great Henge also comes down. That's pretty good. Now they can play Hydra and still kill here. Get an extra counter onto it and draw a card. Which you can double the amount of counters with the Great Henge. There's some pretty interesting things you can do with that. So you could have doubled the counters with, you can have the counter go onto the Voracious Hydra first. No, it enters the battlefield with that many. But then you can have the counter go onto Voracious Hydra before you double the counters, so you get one or two extra counters altogether. Just saying, that'd be a cool way to go too. The issue here is that Sky Tether, he can still gain reach. So no blocks. So Sky Tether really wasn't the best on shifting Ceratops. It was just a way to not be dead soon. And now we get Sephara. And if we get Parhelion on the next turn, that's pretty sweet stuff. No attacks past the turn. We know they're going to have some good removal here. How big can this Voracious Hydra get? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah, they can already kill Sephara. 9. Man, we've just been really behind on the lands. They've drawn a lot of them. So maybe they actually just have a lot of lands in hand too. But I think that once they kill Sephara here, swing in. I mean, they'll bring us down below our starting life total finally, which is bad. So if they have something to play for 3 mana, they can also get the counter from the Great Henge to also work with this. But yeah, they just go for a massive Hydra, which limits our turns a lot. Fight Sephara. If we get land, we can go Parhelion into... So yeah, go to command zone. We gain some life. So if we hit land, we can play Parhelion next turn, Sephara the turn after, which if we get to do that, we may still be in the game. Voracious Hydra will have done a lot of damage by that point, though. And Vraska will be close to ultimating. No blocks. Down to 29. Loyal Pegasus. And now... we had to hit land, so pass the turn. Or, Scoop. Alright, up against Marinjek. Bring it on, Marinjek. And we're playing against a Garruk deck. Bring it on. Some tapped lands here. We have one drop. Yeah, we can definitely keep this. I'd like to have more flyers in the deck, but we do have some good removal and stuff. Johnny's Pride may get big if we run into like a the Queen. The White Queen, I don't remember her name. Yeah, so keep this. I've been really back and forth whether or not I like these cards. If we hit enough basics before we have to play it, It's good. Loyal Pegasus can attack or block alone. If we do get Pridemate out, Pacifism on the next turn, we can at least probably attack in. Oh, give me the right number of planes for this to work out. It can't even attack, so play Pridemate past the turn. Interplanar Beacon, pretty good with Giruk. I've been debating if I wanted to do... We may get rid of the Grange here, because it's an annoying land. And I don't really want to get rid of anything else, so yeah, let's just get rid of that. And now we actually could have used it. That's fine. Prison Realm actually hits Planeswalkers, so let's just go ahead and Pacifism this guy. Swing in for 4. Next turn we get Johnny's Strength of the Pride to start ticking up. Or down for more Johnny Pridemates. Opponent misses a land drop. That's big. That is very, very big. A Johnny Strength of the Pride. You can't counter it. They could have... I'm not sure if Noxious Grasp does for white as well. I'd love to gain life, but let's go ahead and neg 2 for more cats. So... Alright, kills 1. So it is named Johnny's Pridemate as well, which is annoying. The reason why is because if they do have Legion's End, which most people shouldn't be playing Legion's End for this. So this guy can now tap for mana. That is really good. And opponent scoops it up. Opponent, whoa, 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 whoa. Okay. I mean, we could kill this guy so he wouldn't be able to actually tap for anything once he's dead. That was interesting. All right, sweet. That worked. All right, up against Burzolog, and we have Niv-Mizzet. So I've been playing against a few other Niv-Mizzet decks, but not this Niv-Mizzet, not Parun. I like Tome of Legends. This is actually pretty good. This is a great hand. We get some card draw early game. We have 3 flyers available to us in a couple turns. And we just hope that they don't have too much removal in their opening hand. Is land. It looked like they did have some sort of response as well, so I'm wondering if it's like it's the flyer. Ah, it's okay. That also makes sense. All right, they shock themselves with the Steam Vents, which means they absolutely have some sort of response here. So we're going to go ahead and swing in with Healer's Hawk. And Tome of Legends. The other thing, too, is if we do have Grateful Apparition, it does work well with Tome of Legends, where it can just keep putting counters onto this guy, keep drawing more cards. That'd be really nice. They could have a Quench here, which, I mean, this is something that if they're going to counter, we're okay with this. I'd rather it be this than Hanged Executioner. Okay. Jaya's Greeting. It's not a very nice greeting, I'm just saying. Island past the turn. We will play Hanged Executioner. See if it resolves. It does not. Yeah, they did have the Quench. Okay. And now we're in trouble. Now it's very, very bad for us. Very bad indeed. They don't have a lot of red mana. They basically have to hit a red source every turn after this point. If they bring Quench back to hand, though, It's actually surprising they're bringing Jai's Greeting over Quench. I mean, we are getting towards the late game and we could play around Quench, but making us play around Quench is pretty annoying as well. If they just have more removal, though, I guess it works. Let's go ahead and draw a card. We could go Finale of Glory for 2, which isn't great. Angel of Vitality. It is a 4/4. Let's see if they have another counter spell. I was thinking they may let it resolve, not realizing that it's a 4/4. Turn it back to our hand. They get to draw a card. That's an interesting one. I'm not sure if I like that. Or if it's that good. Well, Angel of Vitality. It's still the best play. Tomek and Glass Casket doesn't really do much. Tomek just dies to Jai's Greeting. Mountain. So they're one red land away from Emisizzle. Lava Coil, of course. Sometimes the opponent just has everything, and we got none. Let's go ahead with a Finale. It's something that we can do. It creates some damage. They could have Jai's Greeting to kill one of them. Or Disdainful Stroke. Dude, they've had like the perfect interaction with us so far. It's been very annoying. Gain some life, up to 25. Well, Angelic Guardian. It's indestructible when it attacks. Of course they have some more counter spells. Boo. Ugh. I mean, Ravnica at War is at least a good answer for Emisizzle when it comes. So we know that, man, we would just get this out of their hand. Sure, why not? We know that they already have an answer for it, but let's get that answer out of their hand at least. Do something, pass the turn. Getting spells out of their hand also helps if they do run into Emisizzle. So it's like, there is at least some value in that. All right, let this resolve. Ionize. They're going to have literally every counter spell that there is. Like, they basically already had most of them. I think there's a few more. Like, Didn't Say Please. Mystical Dispute. There it is. Just Didn't Say Please. I don't know why they're thinking about it. Like, if you have it, that's definitely something you counter. Well, pass the turn. I mean, they could think that maybe we have Sephara on the next turn, which could be annoying for them, but... Anticipate. Okay, now they get to dig for red mana. I'm guessing they just play it and play Emisizzle here. Evolving Wilds, alright. Digs for red mana. Alright, so we know Emisizzle's coming down next turn. Sky Tether's interesting. Dude, we'd love to have a land. All of the removal that's... It will be pretty good against their deck, maybe. I think this is instants and sorceries, right? So Conclave Tribunal doesn't trigger it. Alright, so hitting Emisizzle, they do get to play it again next turn already. And we know that. Pass the turn. They know that we can play Sephara as well. So Ravnica War is great for us. All multicolored permanents get exiled. This will go back to command zone again. There are only 2 lands. They already play another land as well. I mean, they're not far away from being able to play this again. But hopefully we can deal with it another time. Narset.
Those who cannot
That stops our
beyond
Tome
the
of Legends, which is annoying.
meditate and prepare.
Didn't hit anything with Narset. Okay. Sweet. Okay. Go for Sephara. See if it resolves. Of course it doesn't. We get to play it again next turn with the Idyllic Range. Dot collapse. Okay. Command. Pass the turn. Dude, this has been a grindy game. Okay, command zone,
Keep
command
an
tower.
open mind.
They have 9 mana. So they're 1 away from being able to cast an Emisizzle again. Which, then we have Pacifism. Trapped in a Tower is the one I forgot. I have Pacifism instead of Trapped Tower, which I think Trapped in Tower says that all activated abilities can't be activated. But I don't think, like, Emisizzle is a triggered ability. Scry 3, draw 3. Seems pretty good. I mean, if they have answers for Sephara is the issue. Keeps 1 on top to draw it. All they need is a counterspell, which Ionize. I'm guessing they still have a few counterspells in there. Mystical Dispute does it for it. And we can't play it. Play Sephara. We have all of our support cards. Nothing actually with action here. Of course they have Ionize. Okay, now we will concede. All right, so Sephara Sky's Blade didn't really turn out too well for us, which is interesting because I feel like I always get amazing games before I start recording, and everyone's like, "Oh, well, why don't you just record every game you ever play?" Like, no, that doesn't work. It's actually difficult to record sometimes, but it's just annoying sometimes when I test a deck, it does really well, and then I go into recording and it does terrible, which was kind of what happened here. Overall, though, this is a fun one. It's something that you can do. You may already have a lot more of these kinds of spells than you would other stuff. I could also maybe bring in just a lot more flyers. Like, there are some just like bad flyers. Like flying, there's a few others that I don't have in here, like the Concordia Pegasus, like Flutterfox, as long as I control an artifact. Like Skyline Scout is only if I attack, which doesn't let us do it anyway. War Screecher, like there's a few other ones out there that we could have gotten in here for flying that I just don't think are very good. So anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, please leave a like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Thanks so much, and bye.